Well, good morning, everyone. I'm excited to join you all this morning. My name is Erin Sanavi. I'm a nurse practitioner and member of the JIVINITI Coalition, and I'm co-lead investigator for Project Gaia. I'm very excited today to talk to Nya Marsh. She's also known as the Fine Vegan on Instagram, so at the Fine Vegan on Instagram. So I'm gonna wait for her to join for a minute. She's awesome. If you haven't checked out her page, please do. She's got so many amazing recipes. So anyway, let me see if she's on yet. Okay, hold on. I feel like this should be easier. It's just, there we go. See if she makes it on. So anyway, how's everyone doing? While we wait, it's so cold here. That's why I've broken out the winter sweaters. So anyway, let me invite you in. I see you're here, so I'm gonna try again, Naya. Hopefully this works. If it doesn't, maybe you can. Are you there? Oh yeah,
Hi.
yeah. Well, thank you so much for joining.
Thank you for having me.
Gosh, it's a pleasure to meet you. I love your page. I love, all your posts and all your recipes. So let's get into it.
Thank you.
All right. Well, please tell us what inspired you to go vegan and how long you've been vegan.
I've been vegan for roughly almost about 5 years now. Now thinking back on it, I wish I would have paid more attention to like the time frame of when I went vegan, but it's been almost 5 years. Um, and initially when I went vegan, it was for health reasons, like I wanted to be healthier. And then when I started looking more into veganism and doing my own research, um, I kind of stayed vegan because of my morals. So I kind of started for health and then I stayed for the animals. So, but they kind of went in together for me. So I don't eat healthy all the time, but I try to, and I've been trying to do more. I've been taking more vitamins and stuff like that. So
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah.
Well, I think that's really great. And I think that we hear that a lot from people. They go
Hmm.
vegan for one reason or another, if it's the animals, the planet, or for health, and then they realize how they're all connected. And I think
Hmm.
that is so true. And you said you wish you would have learned it earlier. I mean, you're pretty young. You're in your 20s, right? I mean, that
Oh, yeah, I'm 29.
I was definitely not vegan in my 20s. You did start, young, in my opinion. So that's amazing. Tell me a little bit about your vision for your community as a Black vegan influencer. Any projects you're working on, or what some of your goals?
Basically, kind of when I started out, I shared a lot of my.
Oh, I hope I'm not.
Then
There,
you need to wear your glasses.
there. Are you? Sorry, I lost you for a second. I don't know if it's my connection. Can you hear me? I'm sorry if I'm. Oh man. All right, we'll wait and see. So it doesn't look like I fully lost her yet, but I might have to invite her back on. Uh, or it very well could be my connection. Okay. I think we lost her for a second, but we'll get her back on here. She's just getting into some really great content. Hi, guys. Thanks for joining. Happy Healthy Moose. Just Rebecca. I'm going to wave at a few people while I'm waiting. Thanks for joining. Hopefully, we'll get her back. Let me try her again. There she is. Let me see. This is technology. There you are.
Okay, I don't know what happened.
It's okay. You know what? I mean, honestly, right before we went live, I saw that I only had like 2 bars. I mean, I'm on live, but it pops off all the time, and I'll be in meetings. So this happens. This is life, right? Okay. Tell me
Right.
a little bit. Can you go back to that question that I asked about, kind of any projects you're working on and what your vision is for your community as a Black vegan influencer?
Yes. So, like I was saying, when I first started, I had a lot of feedback from friends or people that I knew, or people of color, also Black people, but other people of color that I knew that really wanted my help and were asking me a lot of questions, and they wanted to know a lot of stuff that I didn't know myself at the time. So it really motivated me to kind of like, okay, I need to look more into this so that I can help other people with this information because they're coming to me for it. So that's when I really got into like, okay, how can I use this to help other people as well? So that's when I initially wrote my first ebook. And I just try to share a lot of things. Like if I find something at the store or if I find something new at like Walmart or a regular store that I know a lot of people who don't live in bigger cities or don't have access to, I don't know, places like Sprouts or Earth Fare or Whole Foods or something like that. So I try to stay within places where it's like, okay, I know somebody who lives in a very small town might only have this store. So I'll try to go to that store and see what I can find that's vegan. Or if they have new vegan products, I'll make sure that I tell everybody that I know who's living in those smaller places that need and want the extra help, so that I could just help them and try to help people transition or help them start changing their diet or whatever it is that they're trying to do. I really try to make a big point to help other people who really need my help or who are coming to me for help, who are always saying like, hey, I want to do this, but I don't know where to start and nobody else around me is motivating me to do it. Everybody else wants me to do this, but you really motivate me to do this, so can you help me? So that made me want to help other people in my community who wanted to go vegan or wanted to change their diet or eat healthier.
Yeah, I love that. I mean, and I love how you are really, it's all about community and you're really out there just trying to help people because we weren't told this information. As a medical professional, I see patients every day and patients are so confused because they get mixed messages from the media, eat this,
Mm-hmm.
this, So it's great that people like you are out there going, no, let me give you some facts, let me give you some information. And we know that health equity, access to good food and healthy food is really not fairly, out there, right? It's,
Right.
BIPOC communities are disproportionately affected by these health disparities, and we've definitely seen that with COVID-19, right? We
Yeah.
know that communities of color have suffered, disproportionately, and also suffer from chronic lifestyle diseases. So I'm thankful for people like you that are out there helping your communities get, resources and access and answering those questions for them. We are starting to see a little bit, just speaking of COVID-19, we're starting to see a little bit of research out there that's highlighting the fact that people that eat more plants, eat a plant predominant diet, seem to have better outcomes and less severe symptoms with COVID-19. Unfortunately, BIPOC persons are underrepresented in this research and pretty much in all research, let's face it. And one of the things we're trying to do, and I see your shirt, one of the things we're trying to do with Project Gaia is to change this and really trying to get as many people as we can, especially communities of color, to take the survey.
Right.
So why are you supporting this project and why is it important for people to participate in this type of research?
Um, well, obviously, I'm a Black vegan, so I'm right in the midst of, what we're doing. But I feel like it's important because, like you said, there's not a lot of research, there's not a lot of information on it, so we have to put it out there ourselves as the community. So it is important to take the survey. I took the survey myself. I didn't, and I haven't had COVID. I haven't been sick throughout the pandemic. I feel like the only time I got sick is when I got food poisoning. So that doesn't really, but, virtually I'm pretty healthy. I've been pretty healthy throughout this whole span of COVID. So it is important for you to take the survey. Even if you haven't had COVID, if you have, please take the survey. The link is in my bio. It should be one of the first ones, if not the first one. And it doesn't take very long. It's like, it took me less than 5 minutes, so it really shouldn't take that long. But it's important just to have the information because we need people to speak up about this because if the information can show that, your nutrition and health wise, how healthy you are, it really plays a big part into, fighting off diseases and stuff like that. Like, if more people knew that, then maybe they would be more open to eating healthier and changing their diet so that they don't have to go through the whole process of getting sick and having to take medication and dealing with symptoms and the
Hmm.
whole nine. And even if you do, you might be easier for you if you've been healthier and, you take care of yourself.
That's true. Oh my gosh, such great information, and I fully agree with you. I fully agree with you. I think even just being vegan has helped me and our family and our immune system. We get a cold,
Mhm.
we tend to just kind of get over it, right? It's
Yeah,
thankfully, I mean, not to say that bad things can't happen to people that eat a plant-based diet, but
right.
I think however we can help our health is the way to go. So, back to your page and everything. I just want to talk a little bit. What are some of your favorite like things to cook? Your favorite recipes? Your favorite type of cooking? What do you like to do?
Hmm. I like to bake. My
Yeah.
favorite thing to do is bake. But when I went vegan, baking was kind of hard for me because like I said, I didn't know what to do when I went vegan. I kind of just went vegan. Um, I had like maybe a week or two where I was kind of like thinking about it, and then it was kind of like mentally it was getting harder for me to eat meat. And then out one day I was like, okay, I'm just not gonna eat any meat or any dairy anymore. But I didn't know what I was doing. So it took probably to the point where I am now, where it's like, okay, I made a bundt cake yesterday and it came out great and I was so excited about that. But when I first started, it was not it was not as easy because you have to change like your substitutions and figure out what works right and what doesn't work. So, but baking has been my favorite thing. Just experimenting with different types of like egg substitutes like flax egg, or I've been using just egg lately as an egg substitute, and I really
Oh,
like it in baking.
it works in baking. I wasn't sure.
Yes.
Very good.
Yeah, I've been kind of like working on that lately. I haven't posted very many recipes because I've been working on them. And I had a couple of things that didn't come out right, but my last cake came out great. So I'm probably going to post that recipe today. But yes, baking is probably my favorite thing to do. I also like making drinks. And I like a lot of, I'm starting to like more, not necessarily raw foods, but I like, I guess you could call it bland. I don't know. I just like the taste of like the regular vegetable by itself. Like I don't need as much heavy seasoning and heavy
Yes.
saucing and stuff now. So I've been kind of trying to like play around with a little bit more raw stuff lately. So
Oh,
that's been, yeah, it's been pretty fun though. I like it. I love food, so it's
I
it's
love
always fun. Yeah.
I mean, I love to eat cake. I don't bake it. So definitely post it. I'm going to give the recipe to my daughter to make. She's the baker. My husband does most of the cooking, but I
Okay.
try that cake. And then I love that you mentioned actually eating more just plants, just raw plants, and that you
Mhm.
kind of, I think that's one thing that happens to us is those that tend to eat more plant-based. Our palates have been, I mean, and I think America's palates have been so hyper sensitized from all this
Right.
food, right? They intentionally fill it with sugar, fat, and salt, and
Mhm.
we are just like, well, no, of course the apple's not going to taste good if I've got this amazing,
Right.
right, whatever. And so I like that you mentioned that because it's the pleasure trap, and there's a book called The Pleasure Trap actually, and I think they I don't know if you've seen it yet. Have you seen the documentary They're Trying to Kill Us? Just came out on Friday. It's
Mm-mm. No, I haven't seen it
important.
yet.
Yeah, it's really important documentary talk, and it's produced by Badass Vegan, I think is his name, and
Okay.
you know him. Anyway, it's so good. You got to see it, and I mean, it's not good. It's very, very enlightening and very devastating in that it just really shows how communities of color are targeted by the industry to keep them sick and keep them, not well, and basically die sooner. And that's what shows in the research, unfortunately. But they talk about that, how our palates have been hypersensitized by all this processed food, and so
Mhm.
that's great that you're promoting that. So. Last question. If you could give one piece of advice to new vegans, what would that be?
I always give the same one, I feel like, but it's always check ingredients. always, always. Um, I feel like it's tedious, but it's important to do because some stuff won't just be at the bottom, or what to say, contains milk at the bottom. Sometimes it will have like a milk powder in there and it won't say contains milk on it because it's a milk powder. So you really have to read through that. So whenever you buy something that has an ingredients list on it, check it
Love
at all times. That's my main thing, to tell people to check ingredients, because things slip through the cracks and then you feel bad. And then there's the whole process about like, oh, okay, well, sometimes people be like, oh, well, I ate something, now I can't, I have to, start over or whatever. So just check your ingredients, double check them.
it.
I've messed up by buying something by kind of like skimming through, and then I get home and look at it again and it's like, oh, wow, this isn't vegan. So
Yes. Oh my gosh.
yeah.
Such good advice. And I think that you also bring up a point. Like, not all is lost if you slip up, or if you
Mm-hmm.
decide, oh, I'm going to eat whatever that happens to be an animal product one day. You just, if you, my sister always says this. She's like, if you slash one tire, you're not going to slash all four. You just get back on it, right? And I think
Mm-hmm.
that goes with anything else. We're human, and we're not going to be perfect, but that's such good advice, for sure. So anyway, I just want to remind everybody to follow you at The Fine Vegan. Any last words?
Don't forget to take the survey.
Yeah.
The link is in my bio, so you can message me if you have trouble, but it's pretty easy. It should be the first link right there. And it's very quick, it's very important for us to do this kind of stuff. So, and it's easy, doesn't take anything. So.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for joining me and for partnering with us for Project Gaia. And have a great rest of your Sunday.
Thank you. You too.
Bye bye.
Bye.